I'm sure you're past your due date and you've done all the nesting things you can think of. You've painted the trim, you've scrubbed the floors with a toothbrush, and you're just ready to get your baby out. This video is for you. But before I get into this video, I just want to say you can do everything you want to try to naturally induce labor, even as far as going to a doctor to give you an amniotomy. And if baby's not ready to come, then baby's not gonna come. So know that going past your due date, especially as a first-time mom, going 8 days plus past your due date is completely normal. I went 9 days past my due date. One of the first things I did to naturally induce labor was curb walking. And I'll show you a video of what that looks like.
Up, let that drop and then come down. Yep, swing your hip out. Hip out. Up, hip out, up, hip out. There you go. So when you come up, you let it hang. When you come down, you swing that hip out. That's what's gonna rock those hips back and forth so that your baby engages.
Curb walking is thought to open the pelvis and encourage baby's head to descend down into the birth canal to kickstart labor naturally. I did this the day before I gave birth. I noticed that after I did it for about 30 minutes, I could just feel my baby sitting differently in my pelvis. And she was born not too long after. So I swear by it. And many other mamas do too. The second thing that I did was evening Primrose Oil pills. The thought behind these are they're supposed to help ripen and soften the cervix and prepare it for labor and delivery. If you look up online, you'll find something like, it may stimulate the body's production of prostaglandins, which are hormones that help ripen the cervix and can bring on contractions. I did this, and within the 2 days, I slowly lost my mucus plug and labor started. All you do is at nighttime before you go to bed, you insert 1 or 2 pills vaginally. The third thing that I did was I ate dates. You're supposed to eat 6 dates a day. If they're really big dates, you want to do 3 of them, and you eat them 4 weeks before your due date. And this is supposed to also soften the cervix, and it's also supposed to give you a shorter first stage of labor, which the typical first stage of labor for a first-time mom is anywhere from 12 to 19 hours. And my first stage of labor lasted for about 18 hours, so I don't really know if these worked for me. I don't feel like they did, but it didn't hurt to eat some. If you've never eaten a date before, they're really sweet. They have a lot of sugar. So what you can do is you can add some almond butter to kind of slow down the digestion so you don't really get like a sugar spike, and also so they don't taste so sweet. One of the last things is a midwives brew. And if you've never heard of this, this is a drink that's made of castor oil, lemon verbena oil, almond butter, and apricot juice. In an older study, there were 103 women, and half of them were given this midwives brew. And of the half of them that were given it, 60% went into active labor within 24 hours. And of those women, 80% of them delivered vaginally. This is something that I heard mixed opinions on. Some people said it was awesome, it worked great, there was no side effects, while others said completely on the other end, and then others somewhere in between. So that's something that I was gonna wait until the very, very last minute to try, and I'm glad I didn't have to do that just because I wasn't sure what to expect. But if you tried it and it worked for you and it worked well, or if it didn't, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear. The reason I decided to try to kickstart labor naturally was because I went 41 plus 2. I was scheduled for a CTG scan for my baby, which is an ultrasound scan where they measure the heart rate, the baby's size, and amniotic fluid levels. And I really didn't want to have to get that test done if I was gonna have my baby soon anyway. Sure enough, she was ready to come. If there was anything that I mentioned or did not mention in the comments that you've tried and you swear by, or things that you've tried and you just definitely don't think work, then leave it in the comments below. I read all the comments and I will respond to each and every one of them. And I'm sure other mamas would like to hear, your opinions as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.